This is Matthew, and
This is
with me
Derrick.
is Derek. Yep, there he is. Welcome to Panels, Checkpoints, and Popcorn, episode 2. It's about damn time, honestly, that we got to this, but it's kind of my fault, I guess, isn't it?
It's both our faults.
That's fair. That's very fair.
It's been busy.
It has
We've had
been.
big things happening.
Yes, that is true. Some of my big things I'm not going to talk about currently, but I agree, big things. But other than that, how was your week, Derek? Anything exciting happen?
No, it's been kind of quiet actually. Just been working and reading. Gosh, I've read so much this week.
Reading a lot of comics, I'm assuming.
A lot of comics, a lot of manga, a lot of manhwa, a lot of everything.
That's fair. I've been reading a lot of the second book in the Mistborn series this week.
Nice.
And it's been pretty good. I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. Other than that, my week's been very busy, very fun, however, but it's been a good week, all in all. So I cannot complain. All right, well, do you want to, since it seems like our weeks were busy, but kind of like not full of a lot, you know, you want to just get straight into it today?
Yeah, let's get straight into it, man. It has been a week of information. Well, a week. The last couple weeks of information since, it's been almost 3 weeks.
It has been. However, this week alone has been fucking crazy.
Yes.
Like, fucking crazy. What would you like to start with, though? We don't have to go into the big stuff immediately, but what would you like to start with today?
Let's just go ahead and, well, you know what? Let's talk about Cinemacon.
Okay. I'm down with that. So Cinemacon happened.
Since that one's your baby, let's do this.
Yeah. I'll be honest. There are a lot of movies I'm super excited for from Cinemacon that was announced. However, I will say I think it's freaking hilarious that Cinemacon happened on April Fool's Day, and so they announced the name of the 4th Spider-Man Tom Holland movie, which is Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you know anything about Spider-Man, it's one of the worst comic storylines of all time. Like, that one is awful.
Yep.
And that's what they decided to name it, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense after No Way Home, you know? It kind of makes sense, but it's still awful, and it makes me wonder if they're going to make Spider-Man Blue next. I don't know if you remember that one or not, but
I do.
Yeah, they did that on April Fool's Day. They did that on April Fool's Day, dude. And so I was like, oh, it can't be real. And it sure as hell.
Everything
real.
happened on April Fool's Day.
I know.
Like, this is April Fool's Day. It doesn't happen.
Yeah. It was
And
crazy.
some of it didn't.
But I'm excited, mostly because the coordinator for the combat in that movie is the guy that did Shang-Chi's or Shang-Chi. I always botch that name. Either way, it's the person that did the stuff for that, and that's pretty dope. The combat, the fight scenes in that movie here is great. It's absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So getting combat from him with Spider-Man is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. But on top of that, they showed off the first stuff for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which everyone's been waiting for. It's the end of the trilogy for the Spider-Verse trilogy of animated films. And what's really, really cool about it is that it's just going to be awesome. That's what's cool about it. It's just going to be awesome. I don't have a reason for it to be super cool. It's just going to be awesome. I'm excited. It doesn't come out till 2027, though, and that's disappointing. Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out 2026. I didn't say that before, so I'll go ahead and say it now. They released a trailer for the new Naked Gun movie starring Liam Neeson, of all people, and I'm here for it. The trailer was very Liam Neeson, very Naked Gun. Everything about it is what I expect from a Naked Gun movie. So I'm very excited about that as well. They also confirmed that there's going to be a Now You See Me 3 coming out this year, and already greenlit Now You See Me 4, which is crazy. Like, I never thought those movies were that big, you know? I don't know what you thought about them, but I just never thought they were that big.
They were fine.
Yeah, like, they're good movies. It's just, I didn't think they were enough to get, sequels this many years down the line.
Yeah, well, maybe, it's been far enough since the last one.
Maybe.
They might try to catch a new audience.
That's fair. It makes me wonder if they're still... I know this third one's supposed to still have Jesse Eisenberg, but I'm wondering if they're going to bring back Daniel Radcliffe for it or anything like that, like he was in the second film,
Right. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a brand new cast.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that. I would like to see Jesse Eisenberg kind of come in as a mentor. Does that make sense? And just kind of like step away halfway through the film. Yeah. That would be fine. That would be pretty cool. Then another thing that they announced was How to Train Your Dragon 2 is already greenlit for the new live action How to Train Your Dragon movies. That blows my mind that we are already getting the second one confirmed. But they did show the full movie at Cinemacon, and it got so much praise, dude. So much praise.
I don't doubt that.
And it makes me very excited. Very excited for it. Granted, I love the animated How to Train Your Dragon movies. You can't go wrong with them. If we're being honest, you just can't. They're really good.
That's true.
Other than that, there was a lot more things announced, like Megan 2.0, where it's more of an action comedy movie. They also announced some more stuff about Final Destination and about I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboots of those.
You want to talk about old franchises? There you go.
Yeah, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited for that. I love those series of movies, so I'm not going to complain. They also released the first trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Nice.
Which I'm down for. I don't know if you've seen the first one, but it's really good.
I was going to say, I haven't. I heard it was really good.
And it's not, like, I don't think... A lot of people probably didn't watch it because they thought, it's going to be a horror movie. But it's very un-horror to me. Like, it's like that almost kid-friendly horror, if that makes sense.
I mean, it's based off of a kid's horror IP, so it's probably not going to be that deep. I imagine the Nicolas Cage movie was scarier than it.
Probably. That Nicolas Cage movie was good, though. That one was really good. What was that, Willy's Wonderland?
That was Willy's Wonderland.
It was good.
And then the other horror movie that was sort of along those lines would be the Banana Splits movie.
Yep, you're right. You're very right. And I see here that CJ had just said not Spider-Man Blue. Yes, that's going to be the fifth one. We're going to get the MCU Spider-Man Blue. But yeah, no, like, there was just so many movies. There's no way in one podcast we could go over every single one that was announced that's even halfway interesting. You know what I mean? But there was so much that came out of Cinemacon, and I am incredibly excited to see what the next couple of years holds movie-wise, to be honest. I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. Oh, they also showed off the Silver Surfer. They finally revealed what the Silver Surfer looks like for Fantastic Four.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It is a female playing the Silver Surfer, which is interesting. Not knocking it, just so we all know. I'm not knocking that. I think it's cool. I'm just surprised. Like, honestly, I'm just surprised. They also showed off a little bit more about the Thunderbolts. And then, of course, to kind of round off movies, we all know what happened last week with the reveal of part of the cast. Not the full cast, but part of the cast for Doomsday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was just last week. We're now getting into cool territory for Marvel, where they just announced that most of the key players of the X-Men franchise from Fox are going to be back, along with Channing Tatum as Gambit again. And that's pretty exciting stuff, you know?
I mean, it is, but Channing Tatum's not really doing anything right now.
True, he's not. But yeah, that's what I had to say about Cinemacon. I think it's really good stuff. But yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. I'm so excited. So let's talk about this new Lego collab.
Ah, yes.
Let's talk about that.
The deal where Lego is going to start making Pokemon.
Yep.
Even though they haven't said much of anything about it. It was just a quick little teaser trailer.
They haven't. Or has
there been more?
No, there hasn't. There's nothing that I know of about it. I just think it's something worth mentioning, throwing it on here. Mostly because a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money if they do all of the what are they called? The Pokemon stadiums from the Elite Four. I'm going to lose a lot of money.
I was going to say, I'm kind of curious what kind of, like, the small sets are going to be easy. You're going to get a Pikachu. You're going to get your Charmander. You're going to get your basic starters. I'd say those could be your medium build, your small builds. Those will be your $30, $40.
Yep.
No, it wasn't on the first.
Nah, this was not on April Fool's Day. This was back like the 17th or 18th of March. This was announced.
This was actually like right after we did the first episode.
Yeah. So like this is something that was like, it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy to me that they finally made that collab. After how long did Mega Bloks have it?
Oh, they've had it for
years. And the reason I know they've had it for years is because I have my fair share of those.
But I'm curious, what kind of big sets you think you're going to get out of that?
Yeah.
What's going to be the big thing?
I think the big thing is either going to be one of the Elite Four stadiums, like one of the anime Pokemon League stadiums, or a gym, one of the gyms of some type, or at the very least a Pokemon Center.
I will go a sidestep on that,
and
say you'll get a Kanto map.
Oh, that'd be cool! Like just a flat map.
Yeah,
I'd be down with that as well.
Like it has a few of those map ones on there.
I'd be down with that actually.
So, yeah.
Like I'd be really down with that.
But I mean, like as far as maybe big complex stuff, I don't know, maybe a couple of Pokemon. I don't think you're going to see like a Pikachu, but maybe like a.
We'll probably get a Charizard.
Mostly in Gen. Yeah, I was gonna say like a Charizard. I don't mean to stay like 100% in Gen 1, but you might, see some. There's really nothing.
I think
like it could be a big build, it could be a medium build. I really don't see anything that's going to say, this is something that's going to be like $100.
Yeah.
Unless they did like the map.
I think they'll end up doing something along the lines of like that map. That map sounds good. They'd probably do like a Charizard, or where Snorlax is real big recently, probably a Snorlax build of some type.
Snorlax would probably do it.
I would think Snorlax and Charizard would probably be medium-sized builds.
Yeah.
They could do a Magikarp with a Gyarados or something of that nature. I think they'll probably also do some busts, like they do with the Star Wars stuff now.
No, yeah, like a Nurse Joy or
a Nurse Joy, Officer Jenny, Ash, something like that. They might even do like a Charizard head or something of that nature.
Maybe. Maybe some stuff out of the newer cartoon. It's hard to tell.
I mean, that shiny Rayquaza is getting a lot of good stuff said about it.
That'd be a good call right there.
Yeah.
It would be your legendaries for a more complex builds.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be. And I'd be fine with that. I think that'd be really cool. Honestly, I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Because I never once thought that Pokemon would go and get with Lego. You know what I mean? I never thought that would happen.
Contracts end eventually.
That is true.
They just said they were never going to. Lego themselves said that they were never going to actively go after it.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm sure Mega Bloks did well for Pokemon for all these years, it's not Lego.
No, it is not. And
it's just because of the better sizes and different stuff like that. And, you know, the way they see the franchises that Lego handles be treated, you know.
I agree with that. I can 100% agree with that, actually. I really do think that it's going to be cool. I'm just waiting for more information to drop about it. I know it's going to be expensive. That's my one worry.
Definitely. I would see from like in the small to medium build where they did like the NES and stuff like that already, doing like a Pokedex.
You know, it'd be really cool if they did a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance build and put one of the Pokemon games as like the little thing that you can drag around the middle of it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then I think there's some given stuff, like a line of Pokeballs, or
that's fair. That would be pretty cool, though. I would do the line of Pokeballs. Not that type of line, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe that type of line. If they're small enough.
New list of drugs.
But anyway. Knows? I mean, it wasn't Lego already a drug?
God. Says as he looks at the $1,000 of Lego behind him.
Oh, you know what'd be really cool? Gengar. A full-size Gengar. Not full-size Gengar, but like a full body Gengar. That is uncalled for. CJ, that is uncalled for. I do not like the blue Pokeballs.
What's wrong with like the netball?
If it ain't quick balls, it ain't good.
And on that note, let's go back for a sec.
All right.
Since when we were talking about movies earlier, we skipped over the sale of the Coyote versus Acme.
Yes. Didn't they go to a place called like Ketchup or something like that?
There was a company. Somebody was trying to buy it. I know that. I didn't know if the sale had actually gone through yet.
Let's look.
I know that Tubi has taken all of the classic Looney Tunes TV shows. Warner Brothers is completely divesting out of Looney Tunes, apparently.
Yeah.
And to the point that they're even tearing down the buildings off of the lots that have Looney Tunes on them.
Ketchup Entertainment acquired Coyote versus Acme, and now the movie has a plan of a 2016. Wow, 2026.
10 years ago, huh?
10 years ago, a 2026 release date.
You know what that means?
What?
It's an instant classic.
Yep. But so we're gonna have Acme or Coyote versus Acme in a year, and I'm actually excited for that movie. I don't know if you saw. A lot of
people were excited for that movie.
Yeah, now I wish they would do it for Batgirl, but that's not going to happen because James Gunn has completely revitalized the DCU.
Well, also, it's not going to happen because Warner Brothers isn't going to do anything to the DC universe.
No. Speaking of DC, actually, and this kind of goes with the movies, a new 5-minute long trailer, essentially, released at Cinemacon for Superman.
Oh yeah, there is supposed to be Superman coming. I forgot about that.
A cool thing about it is it shows off Crypto more, because Crypto is like a big part of this movie. And and it shows Crypto being exactly what he is. A dog. Like, he's jumping, Superman falls out of the sky and he's hurt, and he's like jumping on him and like tugging on his clothes and stuff to get him to get up and move and like play and stuff. And Superman has to like force him to focus and be like, take me home, like you do with your actual dogs.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like, the part that I saw of it was really, really cool.
Lassie.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Crypto the Wonder Lassie.
Yep. In this, he's not a lassie though. He's actually.
I haven't seen the trailer up yet.
It looks really good though. I've been excited about this new Superman movie since they announced it. However, I don't know about you.
It's been due.
Yeah, and a lot of things came out of Cinemacon where people were talking about it, like influencers, of course, but still people were talking about it. And let's be real, influencers with DC have not been kind recently. For a long time, they've not been kind. With this, they're just like, actually, this feels like Superman. It's about hope. It's really like, it has some cute scenes with his dog, and he's showing that, oh yeah, I am a human. Like, it's very Superman coded, like where he's not just this all-powerful being, essentially.
Right.
Which is really cool. Because let's be real, Superman, specifically with Zack Snyder, was just I'm an all-powerful god. Like, you know what I mean? At least that's how it felt. There wasn't really hope or anything.
I will be one of the few people, and I know I'm alone in this. I don't like the Zack Snyderverse. The only good movie that came out of that, well, two good movies. You had the first Wonder Woman, and you had Aquaman. That was it.
So that second Wonder Woman movie was garbage. I don't know if you ever watched it, but it was absolutely garbage.
No, I haven't.
You shouldn't.
I refuse to.
You shouldn't. It's awful. I'm just going to spoil it for you and anyone that's listening, because this is how bad I think it is. So Derek, you want to know how she beats the villain?
How?
You know, the first movie, she literally kicks the crap out of the villain. Okay? Mm-hmm. In the second movie, she beats the villain with love.
Oh, right, because this was supposed to be the whole, yeah.
She literally stops him and is like, just think of your son and how much he loves you. And then she beats him. And it's the worst thing, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad. I absolutely can't deal with it. It was awful. Don't suggest.
Like I said, the last movie I saw out of that universe was the last. Well, no, not the last movie in that universe. The last one that I could that I actually sat through was Aquaman 2.
That's fair. I've not seen Aquaman 2. I didn't have any want to see it.
Fine. It was a fine movie. The first one obviously was better. Yeah.
I will say I liked Ben Affleck's Batman, unlike popular opinion. But that was really the only thing I really enjoyed about it.
I have the opinion that Ben Affleck makes a perfect Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
and a terrible Batman.
I mean, that's fair. That's very fair.
I'll be honest. If you told me to pick an actor and separate them, it would be, either Ben Affleck being Bruce Wayne and Keaton being Batman himself.
I'd be down with that. That's actually a good choice. Like a very good choice, actually.
Yeah.
But it helps that Keaton is my favorite Batman.
He was an amazing Batman.
He was.
Movie-wise, obviously.
Yeah, movie-wise. Of course, movie-wise. He was even all right in the Flash movie.
Haven't seen it.
Was that movie awful? Yes. Was Keaton good in it? Also, yes. But back to what we were talking about, Acme versus Coyote, or Coyote versus Acme, looks really good. Sounds good, I should say. Sounds good on paper. It's about Wile E. Coyote suing Acme. Like it sounds like a winning thing to me.
Yeah. I was, a lot of people were down for it, so
yeah,
I'm going to look forward to seeing it next year. We'll have to maybe take a night and figure out how to do this. We might go see the movie together.
I mean, I'm down with that because I'm very excited to see it. That's a good idea. Ben Affleck for Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond if they do it. If they make it live action.
If they make Ben Affleck the old man?
Yeah.
Why not?
The old man Bruce Wayne. I'd be down with that.
Yeah. So, no, I don't want to go down this road. I was going to say who'd be your Terry McGinnis, but...
obviously Will Friedle, okay? We're going to get Eric Matthews to come back and be him since he voiced him in the cartoon.
Oh no, are we going to do the thing where it's a different... Are we going to do the Twisted Metal thing where it's a different body to the voice?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Hey, you can say what you want. That. You can say what you want about Twisted Metal, but it was a great show.
I love Twisted Metal.
So good.
I love Twisted Metal. Will Arnett did not need to be in Twisted Metal.
He did not.
Samoa Joe could have been his own thing and kicked ass. But
I agree. 100% agree. But yeah. No, like I still love that show though. It's so good.
This is a great show. But I don't want to see it doing stuff like that with Batman. It's so hard to get that right.
Yeah. It is, I agree.
Especially if you're going to put an actor in it where you hear yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I just think it would be a good movie though. Like I would love to see that though.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Even if it's not Will Friedle, even though I love him, I think it would be good. Anything Batman Beyond though, I wish would actually come out. I really wish we would get a good Batman Beyond live action.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, there's a lot of heroes in the DC universe that could use some of that love. Let's be honest.
I agree.
But at the risk of DC universe starting to run as stale as Marvel.
Yeah. Which I think it's going to be hard for them to run as stale considering they can't get a good movie, it feels like. Like, you know what I mean?
It just means they might torpedo harder.
That is true. That is very true. They could torpedo much harder. Much harder. But we'll see. In the end, we'll see. The next movie in line is Clayface, of all things. I don't know if you knew about that.
Oh, right. They are doing the Clayface movie.
Yep.
It's weird that so much of the villains are getting, like, the love here recently.
Yeah. Which I will say I'm enjoying what James Gunn is doing with the DCU and how they're doing movies. Essentially, the way that they're doing it is they're not greenlighting movies until a script is made for it.
I mean, that's a genuine idea anyway. Let's be honest.
But let's be real, that's not what Marvel does.
No, I mean, they did that at first.
Yeah.
There was, up until Endgame, there was a clear how we get to A to B.
Yeah.
You know, that was a clear out. And then it went kaboom.
Yep, that is true.
And it got a little bit too big for itself. But that's That's the Disney stuff these days. Let's be honest. That's the Disney.
Yep.
And everything.
Anyways, though, I think it's going to be good. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not wrong here, CJ. Marvel doesn't necessarily have to do that because they get actors, they get good actors. But at the same time, if you've seen any of the Marvel stuff recently outside of like Deadpool 3 or Spider-Man No Way Home or Captain America, which is the newest one, and surprisingly it was really, really good, but a lot of it's been really hit or miss, honestly.
Yeah, the TV shows have been real swings.
Yeah.
You're either hitting a home run or you're completely striking out.
Yeah.
Also, Marvel didn't always... Just because Marvel got the actors didn't mean they were good.
Yeah. Incredible Hulk's not a good movie.
OG Fantastic Four is not a good movie.
I mean, fair. I do like it, though, but that's just because of Jessica Alba, I think.
But overall, if you watch it as a story, it's not great.
That's fair.
The X-Men series was good.
Yeah.
But the original Wolverine, the end of X3 was garbage when you had the original showing of Deadpool. Oh no, that was Wolverine Origins.
Wolverine Origins, yeah, but it was really bad.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. And you could say that while there were some big names doing Marvel stuff, a lot of them weren't.
I do feel like a lot of people weren't big names until they had Marvel.
Right, like Robert Downey Jr. had movies.
But
that was, I would say, if you look at the original cast of characters, the biggest name would probably be Robert Downey Jr. out of that.
I agree.
Chris Hemsworth, what did he have before Thor?
I don't actually know.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I don't remember him having anything before Thor. He probably did though. Like I wouldn't doubt that he did. I just don't know.
And like I mean, just like I said, a lot of actors made their names because they were in Marvel movies. Yeah. They didn't make the movie bigger because they were a big name actor.
Yep.
Because it seems like that's the route they went with after watching like Fantastic Four tank.
Yeah. Yeah. That last Fantastic Four movie was awful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful this new one's going to be good. Like, I really hope it's going to be good, at least.
I'll settle for mediocre.
That's fair.
It doesn't have to be good. I'll take mediocre. I will take Minecraft movie.
That's fair. I'm actually excited to go see that, though. It looks really good.
Oh, dude, I totally want to go see it. After watching like the IGN review and looking into it a little bit more, I want to go see Jason Momoa fight a zombie chicken.
I'm down with that. I'm 100% down with that. Moving on a little bit. Did you see any of the Digimon Day stuff that happened towards the end of the month of March?
I've been so busy.
So I didn't stay up and watch the whole thing. I'm going to tell you that right now. It didn't start till 11 p.m. our time, and it ran until 1 in the morning.
Ooh, yeah.
It was a long one.
Work.
I got to see what I wanted to see, however. They showed off more of the new Digimon story, Strangers of Time, or Time of Strangers, whatever it's called. It's Strangers and Time in that sentence there somewhere. Either way, it's going to be great. That's what matters, right? But yeah, so they released more information on that, which is going to be good. Most of what they showed, though, was they showed the trailer originally. They interviewed the director, and he talked more about like the story and stuff, but didn't really give a lot of details. Basically telling us we're going to go against the 13 Digimon, which are like the big bads for this, which are Mega Evolution Digimon.
Right.
And then
as they really are.
Yeah. And then they showed off a trailer that was nothing but the special attacks of specific Digimon. And that was cool. Then they talked about some new trading cards coming out, which I'm here for. Anything Digimon I'm here for, though, for being real. So the trading card game's getting 2 new sets. And then they're bringing out a trading card phone app. So kind of like Pokemon Pocket.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, and I'm real excited about that. It's about time the Digimon trading card game actually got some good stuff in it. You know what I mean? Like got good stuff for it. Because you can't find a lot of people to play, especially in our area. There's not a lot of people that want to play it.
No, if you go to a shop, it's Magic or it's Pokemon.
Yeah, and if you go on Fridays at 11 p.m. or at 11 a.m., it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, there is it.
Yep.
Oh, over at the one on your end?
Yep, the one over here.
Yeah.
So like I'm real excited for all the Digimon stuff announced. They also announced like goodbye anime essentially for the original characters, which is really cool. They announced so much stuff, a whole new anime, a goodbye anime for the original cast, just so much stuff. New comic, there's a new, for people that like Godzilla, there's a new Digivice coming out that's Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about this.
And that's
you told me about
cool.
This.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you like Godzilla, I'm not a big Godzilla fan, but if you like Godzilla, boom, there it is. You know, but it's still really cool. Like they have a lot of cool things in the pipeline. We still don't know when a lot of it's releasing, which is annoying, but we have some new stuff. So that's pretty exciting, I think. Bet CJ. It's real easy. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to cover about Digimon Day stuff, to be completely honest with you. It was mostly that video game, because I'm super stoked. I even started replaying the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory games. Which I don't know if you've ever played those, but you should.
We'll have to sit sometime, Matt. You'll have to come back to Digimon World with me.
I mean, fair.
Like OG.
Yeah, like the OG Digimon World. I'm crap at that game, but if you give me Digimon World 3, I can play the crap out of it.
I like you 3.
I love that game. And I think, well, there's one other piece of news that I kind of wanted to touch on. Outside of the big one that I feel like we were saving till last because we felt like there's going to be a lot more stuff. Right. So the last thing that I really have to bring up, and you can bring up anything else that you want to after this, of course, even if it's not something we had talked about bringing up. StarCraft is getting a tabletop miniatures game.
And there goes people's monies.
Yeah. Like, it was just announced the 27th of March. They haven't really announced much of what's going on with it, but it's supposed to release by the end of 2025, beginning of 2026. And what's really, really cool about it to me is not only are they doing this tabletop miniature game, but the same company, after they do that and support it for a couple of years, are making just normal board and card games for it. And I think that's really exciting. And I watched a thing where people were asking them questions, and supposedly there's going to be resource management and stuff like that in the miniatures game. So I'm excited to see how it plays. I'm excited to see how it functions. But I guess we will see once it releases.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely have to see what the price tags look like.
Oh, yeah. I've only seen 3 of the minis for it. One's Kerrigan, One's the guy that's the leader of I can't remember his name, but he's like the main Space Marine you see, and the leader of the Protoss. All three have minifigs for them, and dude, they look so nice. They look so nice, and I'm really excited to see what else they put out. Specifically because I'm going to be running Zerg.
Yes, I know.
You know me. Rainer. Yes, thank you. Rainer is the guy's name. I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna put a link to a lot of the stuff on the YouTube video when we put it up. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I'm so excited for that StarCraft Minis game, dude. I'm so excited.
All right, let's rip this Band-Aid off.
What Band-Aid are we ripping off, Derek?
Oh, 2 days ago, as of this recording, the Switch 2 was announced officially, or not announced, I should say. Well, it was the big direct about it.
It wasn't announced. You are right. You are correct. It was not announced. It was the big reveal of the Switch 2. However, revealing games, some of the specs, things like that. You are correct.
And I will start it with this. It is a nice upgrade.
It is a nice upgrade. What was that? 120 frames, 4K, if
120 frames per second, a larger screen.
Yep.
1080p with possible 4K on docking.
Yep.
But I've heard some rumors floating around.
Mm-hmm.
The battery life is not good.
Oh, it's already confirmed, my dude. It was already confirmed. It's 2 to 6.5 hours, which is marginally worse than the first Switch.
Can't do that. And it makes no sense considering there's so many things out there that put beefier stuff out and last longer.
Yep.
The Steam Deck has a better battery life than that.
Yep.
But I am intrigued by a few things. The new Joy-Cons are cool.
They are. I agree.
Bigger L&R buttons are nice.
Yes, especially for when you do when you take it off and turn it sideways to play.
Yeah. The new mouse mode is cool.
Yep. I did see a thing. Sorry, I'm not meaning to cut you off, but I did see a thing where people are how you use the mouse mode to play Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, you can use that. I think that was on. I think it was in the Treehouse. I know they were doing some mouse movement stuff on it to show it off. Place a bet on the ergonomic Pro mouse controllers that you're going to end up buying for this thing because you're going to hurt your hand on that.
Yep, because
especially if you're playing that wheelchair game.
Oh yeah, that wheelchair game made me laugh when we saw it. I'm not going to lie to you, Derek.
I will say this: it's cool that it's in there.
Yeah,
I am all for it because that's, I feel like, an underrepresented thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I just didn't expect that to be the first one they showed off with the mice.
That's true, especially when you've got games like Civ 7 coming to your thing. But then again, that might be the most accessible game to show it off to.
That's true. That's true. We won't know until it launches, I guess.
We got to see the new Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm. Don't you mean Forza Mario Kart?
The Mario Forza? Yes.
Yeah, it's Mario Forza.
I'm all for it, dude. I can't wait to do... I'm not going to pick this up day one.
No.
But I cannot wait to go on, hit the big course, and race from track to track. I think that is wicked.
No, I agree. I think that's really cool as well. I'm definitely not picking the Switch 2 up day of launch. 100% not.
No. I haven't met many people that really are.
Mm-hmm.
for various reasons. Let's talk about some of the big drawbacks right now. A lot of people are complaining about the price of everything that goes with it.
Yeah, that dude, like it's wild. So not only is the Switch 2,
I'm not against the 450, 500 bucks for the machine.
No, I'm not against that either. I was just going to use it as comparison here.
Considering somebody that paid, that much for an Xbox One, for a PlayStation 5. Granted, it does feel like you're a step back.
Yeah.
Doing that, but then again, what'd you pay for a PS4?
Yeah, that's true. I don't necessarily have any problem with that. I just think adding it all together is going to be a big hit to a lot of people's pockets. So not only do you have the Switch 2, that there's 2 release versions. One is for $450. It's just the Switch console itself. The next one is for $499, so $500, and that is with Mario Kart World included. That's fine. Perfectly fine with that.
Yep.
Okay, that's normal.
That will be the version that will be flying off the shelves.
Yeah, and that's normal cost. That's perfectly fine. Like that for a console doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
However, the other stuff is a problem to me. The camera, which is just a glorified Kinect, if we're being completely real, is $40. $49.99, so $50.
Right.
Okay. And to use part of the chat feature and to use part of the features of some of the games coming out, you have to have that camera. It's sold individually.
Yep.
A new set of Joy-Cons is $90.
Yep. Ooh, man, I was making a joke earlier because some friends in another chat of mine were talking like, the first thing that'll drop will be mice.
Yeah.
Dedicated mice for it. And I was like, you'll get a pair of them for $90.
Yep.
They'll be more ergonomic, but they'll be $90. And I was like, oh, that's a lot closer than I meant to be.
Yeah, no, they are right out the gate, $90 for another pair of Joy-Cons. The what's it called? The Pro Controller is $80.
Now, is that the Pro Controller or the GameCube controller?
No, that's the Pro Controller. They haven't announced the price for the GameCube controller yet. That's just the Pro Controller.
Which, by the way, there is a GameCube controller coming.
There is one coming.
For all the GameCube games that are coming to online.
That is
big
true.
Plus.
Yep, that is a big plus. That's going to get a lot of people to buy it, I think. Buy the console.
There's going to be a lot of people to buy it. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to push for the expansion version of online.
Yep.
Mainly if you are a big Zelda guy, because
Wind Waker.
Not necessarily just for the Wind Waker, the upgrades for at least one of the Zelda Switch games to Switch 2 is in the expansion pass.
Yeah, it's both of them as part of the expansion pass.
Are they both? Yeah.
Yep. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
So you're going to be doing that just to save yourself however much Nintendo's going to charge for the upgrade packs.
Which I do have something to touch on about the upgrade packs in a little bit. Because right now, just talking in general about the costs, it brings up some other things, like Mario Kart World physically being an $80 game.
Yep.
Digitally being $60, but physically being $80.
A cart, man.
That makes no sense to me. That's weird.
The only thing is, and I guess something that Nintendo's always said is that if you do it digital, it should be cheaper. And it absolutely should be.
It should be.
Than the physical.
I agree.
Not a lot of people follow that. And to be honest, sometimes it's not always true.
Mm-hmm.
But, your digital should be that, but I don't feel like you should be punished buying the physical in quite that way. A $10 difference, sure. $20 is kind of pushing it.
Gotcha.
That's just me, of course.
Especially
because you're just buying an SD card.
Yeah.
And depending on how big these games are, these SD cards aren't.
That's another thing. 256 gigs is onboard memory.
Yep.
That's not enough.
And it's a specialized card now.
Yeah.
It is only...
And it's a specialized SD card. And...
Well, I mean, it's a specialized SD card format.
Yeah.
You can buy these. You can buy the Express, because they are SD Expresses.
Yeah.
You can buy those. I don't know what their price is off the top of my head. And I'm sure you can get around, buying an off-brand or something like that.
Yeah.
But there are going to be people that want that red card, and I guarantee you that red card is not going to be cheap.
Let's look and see. They're not unexpensive, but they're not as bad as I thought they would be for the micro SD Express cards. Mm-hmm. A 1 terabyte micro SD Express from Amazon is $90, $89.99
for a terabyte.
Yeah, for a terabyte.
It's not that bad.
So not bad. And if you buy anything less than a terabyte, you're full.
I mean, that's true, because some of these games, some of these game sizes are crazy.
Well, the reason I say that is a SanDisk, which is the company that this is the company that does the Nintendo licensed SD cards. Okay, it's SanDisk.
Right. Well, I mean, they are pretty much one of the biggest names.
Yeah.
In that format.
So
you don't. It's what them and PNY, and maybe that's about it. I don't even know.
Lexar is another one, and Samsung does them as well now.
Yeah.
But a SanDisk 256 gig micro SD Express is $60.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's Nintendo branding on it, it's probably going to run you about $80 for that.
Probably, because it'll have to have its special bit to it.
So it's going to be about $80 probably for about 256 gigs.
Yeah.
And then that is crazy to me. Not only is that crazy, and thinking about this, I don't think this is necessarily crazy. Because it's kind of what it is exactly what Xbox and PlayStation does. But it's still dumb due to how normally Nintendo is pretty friendly about making sure your games are easy to play. Okay. I don't like that a lot of the third-party stuff is going to end up being a key. The card is a key code, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on board for that.
A lot of people have said, that's what Xbox and PlayStation does, and it's absolutely true. However, I feel like I am more likely to buy a physical item on a handheld.
Yeah.
And be able to, take that with me and not... I mean, granted, you don't have to worry about internet connection because it has the code on the card, blah, 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 blah.
Still, though.
But if you're going between... one of the biggest things right now is their sharing thing.
Yeah.
In the previous thing, they talked about their new digital sharing cards.
Yep.
And they want to do all this other stuff. But if you're on a road trip and little Timmy wants to give his sister, little Jeanette, this card, which she wants to go play whatever third-party game. Maybe she wants to play the new Bravely Default when that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to pass the card over to her. She's going to put it in her machine, and it's going to want to download an 11 gig game.
Yep.
And unless Nintendo is going to, I hate to say this because it might happen, wants to put Sims cards in these.
Yep.
With some sort of company, you're out.
Yep.
You're SOL. And I think that means a lot more on a portable console that you're taking with you everywhere versus, your Xbox, PlayStation at home, your PC. And I say that knowing, I have a laptop. I game on it. I could just take stuff. I would have to do the same thing if I wanted to do that, but it's not really the same because you would prepare all that on your way then. But if you bought a brand new game and then like your sister wanted to try it or something like that, and you didn't want to hand your console over, you would normally just let her play with the game for a little bit.
Exactly. And now that's not how you can do it.
No, it's not how you do it. And that's even if they have the space for it on their console in the first place.
Yep.
Some of these games are fairly big. They mentioned that one of the launch games is going to be Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that game on Xbox is like 110 gigs.
It's the edition with the seasons 1 and 2 already on it.
Oh,
is a
No, I just saying. Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry.
Yeah, there's 2 versions. They're putting out the base version, and they're putting out ones with the season 1 and 2 already on it. Okay. So you already have the extra fighters. That version is a 50 gig download.
Jesus Christ! And you only have 256 gigs. Less than that because of the operating system.
Right. So you have to take that into account whenever you're putting something on there. Now there are some companies that aren't following that.
Mm-hmm.
CD Projekt Red's not doing that.
No.
CD Projekt Red is putting Cyberpunk, the Ultimate Edition. They've got it pared down to 64 gigs,
which is surprising.
For the Switch 2, and will all be on cart.
That's crazy to me.
They said they are putting the whole thing on cart, and it will be 70.
That's crazy. Like the price, I'm not surprised about. That's what it should be.
No. But I'm just saying they're willing to put out this 64 gigabyte cart, which proves it's not a space issue.
Yep. It's, to me, you know what that means? Is a Nintendo issue, like we all knew.
No, it's a Nintendo issue or it's a third-party issue. I tell you the truth, if we want to do it this way, do the digital card thing, where I still got to do that. Let me download it and put it on the cart.
Yeah, I mean that works.
So that way I can take it out and do whatever I need to do. If I need the space, let me do that.
Watch.
Because I guarantee you're not going to be able to change SD cards in this. Because doing that between switches is a giant pain in the ass.
Yep. Just watch. All right. They're going to release. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay.
Yep. F7 is confirmed for Switch 2.
Yeah, I know. You know what they're going to do? 2 carts, $150.
I mean, it might be.
Just like the old Final Fantasy VII, 2 discs.
But the question is, if the physical version is 2 carts and they try to do 150 between the both of them, is the digital just going to be 70? If you put the whole thing on there?
I mean, I guess we'll see.
Would the whole thing even fit?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only own the first one of it, which I think is the one that they're putting on there. But I don't remember how big it is. I haven't played it since it came out.
But with a small system like this, and again, to put it to its next best competitor, which isn't a PlayStation or an Xbox, at least not right now for Xbox, is a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Steam Deck comes with, I think the smallest is a 512.
Yep.
There is a terabyte version. So, why is this so lacking? And you're not too far off in price between a Steam Deck and a new Nintendo Switch. A Switch 2. Because I think you're looking at a Valve Steam Deck. Yeah, here we go. $600 for a terabyte. Or an OLED screen with 512 gigs for $600. So
Yeah.
either way, here's a
comparison, a good comparison, actually.
Yeah, here. I'm on Walmart's website right now. You can pick up a 256 gig, which is the same price as that, for $426. Or $438, excuse me, $438. Right now.
Okay.
And yeah. There you go, Steam Deck. Booyah. You can play a lot more on it. Probably have a better battery life.
I mean, more than likely have a better battery life. I think the Steam Deck is a better investment than the Switch at this current moment in time, unless you're looking for those exclusives.
Yeah. Well, it's all really... The two things that Nintendo has left for it is the portability and the exclusive games.
Yep.
I think the only reason that the Switch 2 is going to be what it is going forward is because of Microsoft and because of the Activision lawsuit. But I think if the Switch 2 came out anything less than this, and it was just Nintendo, people would lose their crap.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Worse than they are now, because there would be no third-party support. Nobody would want to make games for this outside of maybe indie devs.
I agree with that.
And I realize that's, doing. Like, I know that's like a bad thing to say or whatever, but I kind of feel like it's true. Because look at all the stuff that's moving over to there that would not have made its way otherwise.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No, I agree with that completely.
Like, yeah, we got Doom on the OG Switch. 2016 Doom.
And it ran all right.
Yeah, but didn't run as good as it did on the one.
No, not at all.
Witcher probably didn't look good, and I imagine it didn't play great.
I honestly did not get a chance to play The Witcher on the Switch. I did play Skyrim on the Switch.
How fast did that burn that battery?
Awful. It was absolutely awful. But it wasn't bad. It played well. It looked like kind of like a mid-range between the 360 and the Xbox One version. It wasn't bad. Grand scheme of things, wasn't bad at all. So,
but yeah, there is. I don't have the entire list, but there is a decent chunk of games coming out when the Switch 2 comes out. There is only technically one first-party game though.
On release? On release.
I'm talking launch.
It's Mario Kart World.
It's Mario Kart World. Yeah, and then everything else is re-releases, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but
the third-party games we're getting are pretty good though, like Elden Ring.
Yeah, a lot of people will be happy for that.
Split Fiction is day and date.
Yep. There was a couple other ones. I think Sega's got 3 or 4 games that are going to be coming out. I know they were talking about bringing some of the Sonic games over.
Yep. It has a good lineup. Like, honestly, it has a good lineup of games. It's just that cost point's going to be what drives a lot of people away.
No.
Now, I will say it has been confirmed. One thing that I've seen that a lot of people are upset about is the upgrade cost for upgrading games. It's not been announced how much it's going to be yet. Okay, it's not been said. However, the cost to upgrade, I have found, is not going to be as astronomical as people are assuming. Okay.
I am assuming, and I'm just going to throw my guess out here. For like the Mario Party Jamboree, will be more expensive because it's coming with a whole chunk of DLC actually with it.
It's like an expansion.
I feel like the Zelda ones will be cheaper because you're getting nothing other than an app.
Yeah.
The Kirby one is somewhere in the middle because you're supposed to get more missions.
Yeah.
That said, I wouldn't put... If I was looking at the Zelda ones, $15, and that's a max.
Yeah, I was thinking like 10 to 15
Jamboree because it's got DLC with it.
Yeah.
If it's more expensive than that, forget it.
Yeah. Which that's something I did want to touch on. There are some that are going to be free. So if you subscribe to the expansion pass version, you get Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for free. You get the upgrades, not the games, the upgrades for free.
Right.
That's perfectly fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's the... And it's terrible because it's the Game Pass argument, but...
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're paying for the Switch Online.
Yeah.
Probably.
But then I agree, I think, like, for games that are getting substantial upgrades or substantial content drops, 15, 20 would be max for me personally. Mario Party Jamboree, if they did 20 for that, I can see why. They're adding whole new game modes, they're adding whole new ways of playing. Like, it's good. Like, you know what I mean? I can understand it. I get it. Right. But I did find out that there are some games, like a good chunk of games, it's around 10 of them as of right now, that are getting completely free upgrades to Switch 2. Scarlet and Violet being one of them, like being a set of them.
That's interesting.
And it's because instead of adding content, this is the thing that I noticed. Instead of adding content, it's just upgrading the graphic quality and the way they perform. So the way it's seeming is any game that's just getting like graphic quality or performance quality is going to be a free upgrade. Whereas everything getting like additional controls like Metroid Prime 4 or additional content like Mario Party Jamboree and things of that nature, you know, is going to be paid.
Right.
And honestly, that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. If they're giving us actual stuff for that cost that equates to that cost that they charge, it's fine.
Which, by the way, I want to point this out, is not a phone app.
No, not a phone app. They should not be charging for that. It's literally GPS for for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's all it is.
That's all you're getting. I mean, obviously you're getting the performance upgrades. We're not downplaying that. But
no.
That's all you're getting access to.
Is a phone app
for those games. That's ridiculous.
You literally mark a spot on the map, and it tells you how far away you are and what direction to go.
GPS, yeah. Like you said, GPS.
It's literally video game GPS. I'll give them, like, props for trying something new with that. You know what I mean? But, come on. Come on.
Yeah. No.
That's so stupid. I'm good. But yeah, like, I'm glad to see that there's a lot of the games that they are not adding stuff to it, so they're not charging. You know?
Right.
With Pokemon ZA, I realized you have to pay for it, and you're just getting graphical improvements and performance improvements. However, if you remember when the Series X and S and the PlayStation 5 came out, that's what we got. We got a bunch of games we had to pay upgrade costs for.
There were some that were upgrade costs, but there was also times when you got both versions of the game.
That's true.
In that price.
And It makes me
especially
wonder,
on the Xbox side.
It makes me wonder if what they're going to do is with, just using Pokemon ZA for an example, if they're going to use that same thing, because they haven't announced the cost for the upgrade. I wonder if it'll be you can buy it for Switch 1 for $60, and you can buy it for Switch 1 and 2 for $70.
Here's okay. Do you think, since a lot of these games are getting day one releases on both systems, a lot of games that they were talking about, like Pokemon Z to A,
and Metroid Prime,
will the Switch version itself be cheaper? The Switch ones be cheaper?
Know. I hope
so. Or
so.
are they going to charge you? Are they going to charge you the same either way?
That's a possibility. Honestly, they may just charge you the same way and then have an upcharge for the upgrade.
Right. Because, like, before, like, when Xbox did their Play Anywhere stuff, it was one price. And you got every version. And you played whatever version you happened to be playing on was the best version for it.
That's true.
It's still that way.
It would be nice if they did that.
I recently bought WWE 2K25.
Yeah.
And it came with OG Xbox One and XS versions.
Yeah.
Still. One price.
Yeah.
Huh. I was wondering where that was.
I mean, yeah, you're right, though. I hope that they don't charge you the same price for both. But honestly, I can't help thinking that with the reveal of the Switch 2 and the games and the costs and stuff, it's just them being greedy for a lot of it.
Maybe. Speaking of cost, have you seen that they priced the walkthrough game for the Switch?
No, how much is it?
The American price has not been confirmed.
Okay.
But in Japan, it will be priced at 990 yen. And for the people who don't know, this game is called Walking Tour.
Is that?
It is literally.
Is that only like $10?
It's $650.
$650. Okay.
It is literally a game to show you how to use the features of the Switch, and you have to pay for it. This is what Astro's Playroom was.
Yep.
For the PS5 that came with the PS5.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Astro's Playroom was 100% better. Not even played it for Switch. 100% better.
Nintendo did a Treehouse yesterday and today. They showed off part of the welcome tour on it. And I could not get into it. It's really cool because it will dig into the tech specs and the neatest little features. Like, for example, everyone, when they were talking about upgrading the Joy-Cons, apparently they're attached with electromagnets.
Yeah.
Instead of just standard magnets.
That's cool.
That's why the new bumper buttons are steel.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the release actually shuts the current off so you can remove it.
That's neat.
Yeah. Because I was curious when they first showed it, it's like, okay, well, how do you have a button for a magnet release? But it's literally you're turning the current off so that way you can remove it.
That's really cool.
Which might be part of the reason why the
battery
not working. Yeah. I mean, it's probably not a battery eater, let's be honest.
No.
But
you never know, though, honestly.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be 990 yen in Japan for the tour game. And
yeah, that's cheap. It's probably going to be cheap here, but still too expensive considering PlayStation did it better for $0.
Yeah.
It was a pack-in game.
A game, if you really want to put something through there to, show the tech demo and how to interact and other things like that, and it's like, yeah, you would bundle that. I don't know how big this game is actually going to be. They might not want to take up more space.
Yeah.
Than they're already going to take up. But I don't know. I would feel a little bit gypped.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Actually, I would feel really gypped if come Christmas 2025,
it starts packing in.
It's a pack in. Oh, and it'll be like you can get Mario, and you'll get the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom or something like that in this bundle.
Yeah,
and we're going to say like $550.
Yeah,
because obviously this is going to be probably a big thing for the holiday season. A lot of people are going to be looking at it.
Yep. Yep, that is for sure true.
But yeah. I wouldn't. I don't know. It also depends how supply is going to look.
That is true as well. Here in the States, the supply might not be great.
I heard that they've put a lock on pre-orders.
Yep. The way it works is this is pre-ordering from Nintendo directly, of course.
Obviously, because you can't make Walmart do that.
Yeah. The way it works is you have to have had... Your account has to show that you have played 50 hours on your Switch total. Like at the least. And then it also must be a subscriber to Nintendo Online.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Ferrari.
How so?
You can only buy the cool Ferraris if you own previous Ferraris.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
You can only get it. You can only get on the list to buy like the high-end new Ferraris and stuff like that if you've owned 2 or 3 of them.
That's interesting. That's a cool concept, actually. That's a really cool concept.
It makes some of the cars stupidly exclusive for no reason.
Does it?
Yeah. There's a thing that Jay Leno likes McLarens.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to deal with Ferrari's BS.
Fair, actually, fair.
Yeah, like I think for what was it? And this is, I'll be completely wrong about this. You've heard of the Enzo, right?
Yeah.
The Ferrari Enzo.
Yeah.
I think you had to have owned a 989, a 14, and a 15 to even get put on the consideration list to be able to purchase the Enzo, and then spend $3-4 million on this car.
That's kind of ridiculous, actually.
It's when you think about it, it's like going to the Ford dealership and saying, no, you can't buy a Raptor unless you've bought a Ranger, a Bronco, and a standard F-150.
Yeah, that is a little ridiculous. I agree with that.
Yeah. And then you're still going to pay the $70,000, $80,000 price tag on top of it. You don't get any kind of preference or anything like that for it. It's not a discount. It's just you have to prove that you are dedicated to us enough to do it.
That's so dumb. Like, I understand why Nintendo's doing it for their website. They're trying to keep scalpers from grabbing them all up. It's kind of like
you're going to do that.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but if the minimum is actually 50 hours,
yeah,
I could turn my Switch on now, load into a game, and let it sit in the menu, and just walk away.
True. That is true.
I mean, really, I don't even know if I have 50 hours on my Switch.
I think it's not an awful idea to try. It's kind of what... I don't know if you remember when the PS5 was coming out, where Sony started sending people invites via the emails attached to their accounts.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but as of right now, I'm not going to 100% fault them for it. Just because I'm happy to see that someone's trying to stop it in some way.
No, maybe.
Because scalping is awful. It has been for a long time now, as we all know.
Yes.
But yeah, like I'm excited for the Switch 2. I'm excited to see what happens with it. The new Donkey Kong game looks good. I just can't get behind it for the price right now.
No. I can't justify anything like it. Even if it was half the price, I wouldn't be able to justify it.
No.
Unless, like we were talking earlier, there would have to be 3 or 4 games that I absolutely want for it, and there's not right now.
Right now, there is not.
Because any of the big games that I would want for it that are re-releases coming to it, I have on PC.
That's
I can
fair.
stream through the Xbox Cloud.
That's fair.
You know, I would. And as a point to how well the cloud works, I was on crappy work Wi-Fi and I streamed Call of Duty.
That's fair.
And it worked.
That's very fair, actually.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I would have to be wowed by a few more things before doing that. Oh, and here comes the pain. I avoided it for so long.
Once again, if you're listening to this through YouTube or anywhere else that you may find it, we're playing Monopoly while we do this because we stream it on Twitch for the first launch of the release. So, yeah, he just got hit with paying me $309.
All right. It's all right.
But I think that honestly rounds up everything that I wanted to say about the Switch 2. It's not that I am so pissed off about it. I was when it was announced and I was seeing the stuff, I'm not going to lie. But thinking about it a little bit more, it all seems relatively to be what I honestly expected. You know? So I'm not really pissed off. However, I won't say I'm happy about it. I'm excited to see what else comes of it, but I'm not. My hype's gone for it, essentially. I'm about 50-50. It's a take it or leave it thing. Like, I don't care.
I think it will follow the Nintendo curse. It will be the slow console.
I think it will also.
Do I think that's a fault of the console?
No. I think it's.
I think that's just the environment that it's going into right now.
Yeah. Because just like I think me and you had this conversation where the 64 did well. I just punched my mic by accident. Sorry if you're listening with headphones later. So the 64 did well. Then the GameCube didn't do great. Even though this GameCube is a great console, when it first came out, it did not do great.
And then the biggest comparison of that is the Wii to the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii to the Wii U. The Wii literally was the best-selling console of all time for years. And then they're like, we've got it better, the Wii U, and then Wii U just crapped the bed. Like,
yeah. I will say Nintendo is going to start falling into their naming issues again if this keeps up. Yeah. We're going to have a new 3DS situation.
Yep. And like don't get me wrong, I like the Wii U, but it still, you know what I mean? Still. Like it was dead. It died quickly.
Yeah.
And that was sad, but it died quickly. But what can you really do? You know?
I mean, it's what it is. And Nintendo's not the only one that falls into that.
Yeah.
You know, Xbox fell into it.
Yep.
And Sony's fallen into it.
Yep.
So the right thing comes or the wrong thing comes.
Yep. I agree. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens with the Switch 2. Whether it be it falls flat or it kicks off and is just as good as the Switch. We'll see what happens. That's all I can really say about it.
Yep. Wait for the problems to start happening.
Yep.
The technical bugs. If it overheats or,
Yep.
heaven forbid, fries itself.
Yep. Because it could be bad. We'll see what happens though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see what goes on with that. I think. Do you have anything else to say about the Switch 2? Or about any other news that you heard this week or last week?
No, not a whole lot that I really paid attention to. I haven't been able to really dig into anything this week.
Okay, that's fair.
Or in the last couple weeks.
There's
one thing I want to bring up. The last time we played, we talked about games that died.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Talk about the game that won't die. Defiance is coming back. If anybody remembers the space shooter MMO that was tied to the poorly thought out Sci-Fi Channel TV show
original. Yep.
The game that was supposed to be plotted by the players.
Yep. What's crazy is that show honestly wasn't even that bad, but I think tying it into the game was a big mistake.
I think they expected more gamers to play it faster.
I agree, but it found a very niche audience. Yeah,
it was a super niche thing. I give it that. But yeah, the game died once, came back again it came out on the 360 generation of consoles, died, came back on the next generation of consoles, died again, and is being revived one more time.
Yep.
So, good God, the thing is a McFarlane cartoon. It keeps coming back.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I've seen that Family Guy, Simpsons, and Bob's Burgers got renewed for 4 more seasons each.
Did they?
Yep.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
And everyone thinks the next one is going to be American Dad. Because I think it's getting put back onto standard television.
All right, then. Whatever they want to do, I guess. I don't
know how the dude does it. The dude gets his cult followings.
He does.
He did it with Family Guy. He did it with Futurama.
Too bad they won't bring back the Orville. You know.
Maybe it'll find life on something else. If it gets moved it has to go to Adult Swim.
Orville.
That's the key.
Have you watched Orville, the live action? It started as a parody of Star Trek. Have you seen that?
Watch anything Star Trek. I don't watch anything close to Star Trek.
Okay, so it's made by Seth MacFarlane, the guy that did American Dad and Family Guy. But it's really good. It's really good. So I wish they would bring it back more. They got a third season on Hulu when it got taken off of television. But I doubt that it'll get anything more than that, which is sad because it's really good.
Oh, excuse me. Whew. I see.
Anyways, though, I think I don't have any other news to talk about. So I think it's time for History Roundup there, Derek.
Oh yeah, the History Roundup. This is for the dates of March 24th to the 31st because I didn't want to go any further than that, and we'll catch up on the next episode.
That's fine.
So, on March... Well, when I get back to the right page. March 24th. This was actually a fairly large week.
Was it?
For pop culture.
Okay.
In 1999, we had The Matrix premiering.
Whew. That's a good
Crazy,
one.
Right?
Yeah, that's a long time ago, too.
For the Academy Awards, we had Halle Berry winning for Monster Ball. The only black woman to have won that award. Yeah, there hasn't been one before, and there hasn't been one since.
Wow.
Yeah. On on the gaming side, in 2005, talking about console releases,
Mm-hmm.
the PSP was released.
Oh, that I remember the PSP fondly, man.
The OG PSP
I
came
remember
out
it
with
fondly.
24 games.
Holy shit! What games were with it?
I didn't write all of them down because a lot of them were sports titles
Of
and ports
course,
from the
of
PlayStation
course.
2, obviously. But some of the headliners,
Okay.
well, one of them I did write down was a port, was Spider-Man 2,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Ape Escape on the Loose,
Oh, that's a good one.
the arguably biggest gem to come out of the PSP, Luminace,
Oh, that game was good too. That game
Metal
was
Gear
so good.
Acid.
Whoa, that was a release day
Yeah,
game.
that was a launch title game.
Holy crap!
And Twisted Metal Head On.
I didn't know that was a launch day game either. Holy shit!
Yeah, those were launch day games.
That's good.
Yeah, those were really good. Also, we had a class action lawsuit filed against Ubisoft
Okay.
for the Star Force DRM
Okay.
because it was going into it was a DRM for PC games, and apparently it was going into the registry files, and I'm going to butcher this. It was going into Windows and making it vulnerable to attacks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so this was like a $5 million class action lawsuit against Ubisoft.
Good old
And
Ubisoft.
you had to, I guess, apparently, you had to remove Star Force or Star Force separate from the games when you
Jesus.
uninstalled them, or it would remain and continue infecting Windows.
Jesus.
And on a more somber note, in 2006, the PS1 was no longer produced.
Oh, that's awful. Why'd you have to tell us that? The PS1 was a great
good long
console,
run.
dude.
You got to think that was 11 years.
True. That is a pretty long run.
And actually well into the PS2's life cycle.
Yeah. That is a pretty good run. I'll give it that. That is a good run.
What are you trying to do?
Whatever I want.
Well, fine, you do whatever you want. Let's see. On March 25th, we had in 1954, RCA manufactured their first color television.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beast of a machine. Okay. But it was only a 12.5-inch screen. Oh, and it cost you $1,000.
Back then. What does that translate to now?
Just a couple $100 under $12,000.
Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous.
And this TV was a piece of furniture. Mm-hmm. It was nothing set top or anything like that. You didn't set it on anything. It commanded its own place in the room.
That's ridiculous.
And if you think about it, today you're not finding a television under 24 inches, probably.
Yeah, most definitely not.
And yeah, 12.5.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy, dude. Could you imagine that? $12,000 for a TV?
Yep.
That's crazy.
And not being able to probably sit further than 3 feet away from it.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. And just think,
your car was probably cheaper.
I don't think color TV even caught on that well at that point.
No, it took another 10 years.
Yeah, like holy shit.
For it to be cheap enough. And by then those televisions were still around $500.
That's crazy, dude.
So yeah, that would have been like in 60s money. So that would have I don't have a conversion right now, but I imagine it was still several thousand.
That's so stupid. Like, that blows my mind, Derek. I don't think you understand. That blows my mind, dude.
And changed the world forever. It did.
Like, wow.
Let's see. In 2002, March 25th, 2002, one of the most groan-inducing television shows was introduced. The Bachelor.
Oh, God.
Yes.
God, I didn't realize it was that old.
In 2002, yeah.
Holy
every housewife's steamy dream.
Holy cow, that's old, dude.
And in 2019, Apple TV started streaming.
Really?
Yeah, the streaming service of Apple TV was 2019.
I don't know if you ever used Apple TV, but I'm going to tell you that show Severance is freaking great.
Severance is supposed to be good. I've never watched it. I also want to watch. What's the other one about soccer?
I don't know.
It's the one that Apple TV is known for the most, I think.
I do not know, to be honest with you.
It's supposed to be really good. Let's see. One thing for the 26th. In 2005, Doctor Who returns to BBC after 16 years off air with new episodes.
That's when we got Chris Eccleston, isn't it?
I think it is, yes.
Yep, he's the best Doctor. The 9th Doctor. At least he's my favorite.
On the 27th,
okay.
Forrest Gump won Best Picture.
Nice.
And in the 1995 Academy Awards.
Speaking of Forrest Gump, have you seen Chet Hanks's new music video?
No.
He's doing like a country rock stuff now. He used to be a rapper. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
But in it, he's reenacting the Forrest Gump movie, and Tom Hanks, because it's Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is on the set as his son is dressed up like Forrest Gump, like making fun of him and stuff. Like during the video. It's really good. It was a really good video. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Let's see. In 2005, another groan-inducing show, depending on who you are, Grey's Anatomy debuted.
I love Grey's Anatomy.
A lot of people like it, and a lot of people don't like it. It's a very polarizing show.
I'll tell you this, man. I can't hear that song Chasing Cars without thinking something bad's going to happen. Because every time in that show something bad happens, they play that song. Every time, dude.
March 30th, one of the biggest franchises in horror history comes to the United States.
Is it The Grudge?
No.
Damn, what is it?
March 30th, 1996, Resident Evil hits the PS1.
Oh, I thought you meant movies. My bad. I mean, yeah, that is a big one, Resident Evil. That reminded me of something. New Resident Evil movies are coming out, supposedly based closer on the games.
Yeah, that one's... I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see.
Let's see. Then we're going to move to the 31st.
Woo, 31st.
Monty Python's The Meaning of the Life is released in the U.S. on 1983.
Oh, that's exciting. That's real exciting.
Darn it.
I love Monty Python, though. I don't know about you.
He's fine.
And like, I don't know, that's pretty awesome,
though. 2 years later, in 1985, we get WrestleMania 1.
Holy shit. They only started in 85?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like it's been around for so much longer?
The main event was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Piper.
Oh my god, that's great. That's freaking great, dude.
Won by Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's who would win it at the time.
That's awesome.
In 1999, we have one of the, I would say, one of the most classic romances of our generation, 10 Things I Hate About You, was released in theaters.
That movie's so good.
Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger.
The movie's so good.
And on the gaming side, in 2006, Bandai Namco merged and formed their own company.
Oh, that's awesome, actually.
And in 1998, one of the biggest games, one you were talking about earlier, was released.
Was I?
Yeah, this is a game you talked about.
What game?
What big game come out in 1998 for PC?
For PC? StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Yep. All right.
StarCraft.
All right. For some reason, I always think StarCraft was 99, not 98.
That was 98.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Feel old. Feel old.
I do feel old. You know how old I was when that game came out?
No.
5.
Shut up! You make me feel old.
I was 5. I was only 5 years old. Holy shit.
And that's everything I have for our history segment. With one quick little side note, we would like to take a moment and remember Val Kilmer.
Yep.
We sadly lost him this week. And George Foreman, one of the most badass boxers to be on the planet.
And one of the
makes
best
a tasty
grill
grill.
people. That is sad to me that they both passed. Val Kilmer is one of my favorite Batmans. I love that movie, Batman Forever. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
I love that movie.
Top Gun.
Much. Top Gun is good. Though I've only seen it a handful of times as compared to the Batman films. And to be completely honest, I have not ever watched George Foreman box. Don't.
I have never seen George Foreman box either. I know but he was supposed to be a really good champion.
Yeah, I know that he was phenomenal from everything that I've heard, and anything that I ever did see him in, or even infomercials for the grill with his name on it, were top notch. And so I'm here for it. Like you know what I mean? Like he was. Yes, for my generation, he may go down as the guy that had grills named after him. You know. But he was still, even doing that, he was funny. And, like, I enjoyed watching the stuff.
He had big personality.
He did. He did indeed.
Nobody can say he didn't.
He did indeed. All right, Derrick.
All right.
I think it's time to move on a little to our comic section. You read anything good over the last 2 weeks?
Oh, I've read so much over the last 2 weeks. I read way too much, and I owe Matt way too much money. Let's start with this one. I know the one I was originally going to start with. I know you read.
Okay.
But I'm going to pick something that I know you haven't read.
That's fine.
And it's a horror book called Kids.
Okay. You told me about this, I believe.
I did. This is a one-shot book. And it's what if one night at random every single 1-year-old in the world was replaced with a 25, 30-year-old version of themselves but still had their 1-year-old's mind. And you basically get a form of the zombie apocalypse.
Mm.
Because you have children that can't communicate.
Yeah.
Don't know how that they can hurt people. And yeah. You have parents that are freaking out. What is it?
I wonder who came up with this idea.
I think it was. I don't have my. Let me read that. Let me.
Because this is actually like a very original idea. You know?
Oh, I'm going to get a bunch of different things because it has a really simple name to it.
Yep.
I want to think. I know it's a Ninth Circle book.
Okay.
But I think. See, I'm going to say something and it's going to make me look bad. I get nice circle of hell. I did not want the nice circle of hell. So I was right. Nice Circle is an imprint of Image Comics. So this is Image that put this out.
I just looked it up. It looks like it's a Garth Ennis book.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
I think I ended up reading 2 of these this week and didn't realize it.
Like 2 of the same one?
No, 2 of this imprint.
Oh, okay.
But let me finish this one. So you have the classic zombie apocalypse thing. Parents put their baby down.
Mm-hmm.
They come back after hearing some screaming, some weird screaming that they never heard before, and all of a sudden there's a 6-foot-tall naked guy standing there, and you're like, where the hell's your kid at, and all this other stuff. So, you don't know what to think or anything like that. Meanwhile, the kid is stuck in the crib, can't get out, and is hungry and fussy and all this other stuff, but doesn't realize that they are now the strength of a 6-foot-tall regular person. So they become really violent. You then, get into your car and you run away to the city, which is one of the few times you would actually want to run to the city in this kind of situation, because people are more likely to live in the suburbs than they are in the cities.
Yeah.
As far as families go. And in one scene, they go to a hospital because dude breaks his arm. And yeah, the hospital was the scariest part.
Yeah.
Because everybody in it was either gone or dead from trying to stop the kids. And they make the mistake of going upstairs to the maternity ward.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Exactly. Like, the maternity ward would be the one thing I'd be afraid of in this kind of situation.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So it goes through this whole thing. And when the sun rises, they all turn back into babies.
That's weird. It's so weird.
You gotta read it. Like, I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but the artwork is so visceral in it.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, it has this creepy feeling, almost like a Twilight Zone feeling all the way through it. Because you'll be like, they're acting like it's a zombie apocalypse, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah.
Because some parents are like, no, this is my kid. I saw them change, into one of this, and the kid doesn't understand what they're doing and accidentally snaps mom's neck.
Oh.
Because they know that that's mommy, but they don't understand what they're doing or how strong they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a one-shot book. It's a one-time only thing. Because like I said, when the day ends, they turn back.
Okay. That's a real strange premise, but I'll have to check it out.
It was like super, super weird, and I was here for it the whole time.
Normally, I really like Garth Ennis' work anyways, so I'm sure it won't be awful.
Yeah. The other horror book I picked up that is as part of a series, and I'm looking forward to actually reading this series. Hang on, I want to get this title right. It's a slightly long title.
Okay.
Give me one moment. Insert slow playing music here.
Banana, da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. Probably shouldn't hum Zelda music, but whatever.
I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer.
Hey, I started reading that too.
Did you actually start reading? Oh my god, this book is so good. I didn't know if you would end up.
Yeah, I saw it on like, I don't remember you mentioning it to me, but I saw it on the comic app, and was like, "Oh, what's this?" and started reading it.
Yeah. So it's about this girl who kills people and then tans their leather and makes clothing out of it. And she wants to go to fashion school to be a better designer.
Yep.
And yeah.
It is. The first book was really good. First book was really
and
good.
The scene, the one that sticks in my mind, outside of, so like in the beginning when it shows her like chasing the dude,
Yeah.
with the giant tattoo across his chest.
Yeah.
Then later they talk about her leather jacket,
Yeah.
and you look at the back of it, and it's that tattoo.
Yeah.
Across the back of it, and I was like, "Oh man, that's dope." And then there's the scene after she kills a security guard and skins him, where she's just bathing in the blood.
Yep.
And the dude's just hanging there above it, dripping into the thing. I was like, "This is insane! I love it."
Yep. It is real good though. It's very good. I can't wait to read more of it either. I only read the first issue so far. So
there's only one issue.
Is there only one issue? I thought there was more out already.
No, there's only one issue.
Oh, then I've only read the first issue.
Hey, so you only read the issue that's there.
I'm excited for more of it then. For some reason, I thought there was more of it.
No. Beyond that, I don't know why I didn't do this the easy way. I've been reading tons and tons of manga.
Mm-hmm.
I found the new Darkwing Duck book.
Nice. Is it good?
It is. I have only gotten through the first issue. I bought both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the comic book. I mean, it's not the comic. It's the cartoon.
That's fair.
It feels just like an episode. It time travels a little bit. Yeah. This is when like Darkwing Duck is just getting started again.
Yeah.
So I'm all on that.
I haven't read a lot this week. When it comes to comics specifically. I have been reading the sequel series of Solo Leveling, called Solo Leveling Ragnarok. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising, but it's really good. And I've also been reading the Powerpuff Girl comic that started last year.
Oh yeah?
Have you read any of that?
No, I haven't read any of it yet.
It's like how you were talking about Darkwing Duck. It's very much so like each issue is just an episode of the TV show.
Nice.
It's good. It is very good. It's just exactly what you think it's going to be.
I not owe you a ton of money.
But it's exactly what you think it's going to be when you start reading it, and it's real good.
I also found the Justice League Unlimited. The comic book that started last year.
Yeah.
And started thumbing through it. I got through a couple issues of it. It's pretty fun.
That's good.
The very, like, it's leaning into more. So this is post the Amanda Waller stuff, where everybody's powers get shuffled and stuff like that, and they make the new thing where the satellite dish can be the home for all superheroes and all superhero teams.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the big orbital Justice League satellite becomes that. And so now you have Martian Manhunter acting like Grand Central Station. Or not, it's not Martian Manhunter, excuse me, it's the Red Tornado. Because the Red Tornado's body got destroyed, and while they're building it, he's acting as the AI for the entire thing. So he's like, if they get a call that something's happening, they'll be like, okay, we'll put Green Lantern, Batman, Black Canary, and this other person here on it. And they're the best ones suited to go deal with this problem.
Yeah.
And that's just how they talk about it. And the whole thing is like an entire city in space, and then they just go off on the missions.
That's actually really cool.
I like it a lot. My favorite part is a side comic that's attached to it, which is The Question.
Okay, yeah.
Because now Renee Montoya is The Question.
Okay.
And she has been made sheriff of the satellite. So she has to be the law enforcement for all of the supers.
That's neat.
It's really, really cool. It's as lighthearted as you would expect, and at the same time as serious as you would expect for a book along those lines.
That kind of reminds me of another comic that we both read this week, Derek.
Oh yeah? Is it another Justice League book?
It is another Justice League book.
Which one would that be, sir?
It would be Justice League and Sonic. I'm not sure what the actual title of it is.
I think it is just Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, so Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog. It's real good. It's real good, but
it is.
It's surprisingly well written. It was fun to read. I expected it to not be as good as it is, to be honest.
I don't think you were expecting it to be as funny.
Yeah,
as it was.
It is very funny. The scene where you first see the Flash jump in and they're running down the freaking Green Hill Zone and everything. That was good. And he's like, "I'm the fastest man alive." Well, I'm the fastest hedgehog alive, and zips past.
It goes back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth.
That was good. That's good.
And having Batman make Shadow stop brooding.
Yep. It just proves that Shadow broods more than Batman, I guess. However, Sega, if anyone from your place is listening, which I kind of doubt, but if they are, you should bring back Shadow the Hedgehog. You should reboot or remaster that game.
They just did a Shadow game.
No, I want the one with guns.
You just got a Shadow game.
Not that one doesn't.
And it had part of those levels in it.
That one doesn't count. It wasn't just Shadow. All right.
You're never going to get it like a just Shadow game anymore. It's just like you're never going to get it just on... Well, that's a lie.
I want just Shadow back.
And you know what I want?
What?
I want old continuity back. I want Princess back.
Why don't I know who that is? That name sounds really familiar, but I can't think of it on top of my head.
From Archie Comics lore.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know, man. I thought Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog was really, really good.
It's an enjoyable book. It's like one of the most enjoyable crossovers I've seen in a little bit.
Yes.
And I've seen quite a bit.
I've seen a lot of crossovers in the past couple years as well. So I get it. I'm very excited to read more of that. Just like I need more Uncanny Valley to come out, but that's not till freaking May. What is that about?
Welcome to the world of comics. You never know when stuff's going to get pushed back or canceled. Oh, speaking of runs, I've been reading the new Batgirl.
Oh, is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
It is, I always get my Batgirls mixed up. It's not Stephanie.
Yeah.
And
it's not Barbara, I assume.
It's not Barbara. It's the other one.
I'm not
the one who's Lady Shiva's daughter.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name.
Yeah. Well, it's based off of her. And Lady Shiva pisses off this super powerful ninja clan.
Mm-hmm.
And the story's been that Batgirl's been pulled into it, so she has to try to help her mom.
Okay.
And while at the same time reconciling their differences with each other, at the same time trying to reconcile each other's differences. And it's been like a really good book, a really fun book. I've been really enjoying it. So I would give that a shot.
Okay, I'm definitely going to have to.
Anything else you've been reading?
Honestly, that's it. This week, the past 2 weeks, I haven't been really able to keep up with much. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think the most I've been reading has actually been my updates for games that I play.
Fair.
Yeah. Like how Wilds just got an update, Verdansk got brought back in Warzone and all that. Like that's basically all I've been really keeping track of.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's that time of year right now.
It is. And I like I said before, I've also been reading a lot of the series by Brandon Sanderson, the Mistborn series. Trying to get through all those books, which there's 7 of them, and I'm on book 3.
That's not gonna take you long.
So, and then after that, I have the Cosmere books to read as well, which are like over 1,000 pages apiece. But I honestly think that's all I've really got.
Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap us up.
All right. Once again, I'm Matt.
I have to say, damn you.
Yep, you're welcome.
I'm Derek.
Yep, I'm Matt. And like he said, that's Derek. This has been Panels, Checkpoints, and Popcorn. We hope you all have a fantastic 2 weeks. We'll be back on Monday. With all things working well, we'll be back on Monday the 14th. So we'll see you all then.
Yep. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.